Hey, beautiful people. Welcome to Event Horizons by Illustrative Artistry, where celebrations aren't just planned, they are redefined. I'm your host, Bianca Bullard, Creative Director, Luxury Event Stylist, and your behind the scenes bestie here, yes, here in the Bahamas. But this isn't just a podcast. It is a full on experience, a vibrant space where clients meet creatives, where vendors share value, and the secrets behind show stopping events come to light. Whether you are planning your dream wedding, selling your next big moment, or working behind the scenes to bring magic to life, this show is your ultimate guide to understanding the real work, real people, and real passion behind the glam. So grab your notebook or just vibe out because on Event Horizons, we're not just celebrating events, we are redefining what celebration truly means. Let's get into it. Hi, guys, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Event Horizons by Illustrative Artistry. And I am your host, Bianca, and like I promised you guys, this season is going to be explosive, informative, because who does it better than our Bahamian creatives? And I promise you guys, I will have all of our professional vendors in the events industry here in the Bahamas. And today, I have the esteemed pleasure and opportunity to have Miss Lesley Pinder sit and have a candid conversation with us about planning events, planning weddings, but also destination weddings here in the Bahamas. Ms. Pinder, thank you so much. I would love for you to introduce yourself to our audience. Tell them a little bit about yourself and about your business.
Well, thank you for that, Bianca. My name is Lesley Pinder, and I have been doing wedding and event planning since 2004, actually August 2004. And I am certified with WPIC, Wedding Planners Institute of Canada, and I have a passion for weddings.
Awesome.
Okay, and anything else?
What is the name of your company?
Oh yes, Lesley Pinder Wedding. Actually, when I first started, it was Treasure Events, and Treasure Events came about because it was a combination of both my kids' names, Trey and Asia. So it was Treasure Events for a while. And then in 2019, I rebranded to Lesley Pinder Wedding and Events because I wanted to be able to have a more intimate name for my business. And at that time, I felt as if I needed to rebrand. Okay? And it just spiraled from there.
So what prompted you to get into the business of doing wedding and event planning?
Well, I always had a passion for planning. I was at a 9-to-5 job, and every day I would go to work, and I was like, I was thinking more about my business than what I was being paid to do 9 to 5. And so eventually I took a leap of faith, and I said, you know what, I just want to do this. I just want to step out, and I just want to do my own thing. It did take a minute or two for people to come to the realization that, hey, I'm doing this full time. And in the meantime, I was a Bahamas trainer with the Ministry of Tourism. I was a satellite trainer. So that also helped with, revenue or income coming in until I got my business fully off the ground, where people knew that, hey, she's doing this full time, so I can do consults through the day. I can do site visits through the day. I was readily available when you needed me to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get more of a pleasure doing this than your 9 to 5 that you had.
And then I was a people person. Okay. And paying attention to detail, making sure that things went smoothly, and even with family events. I was always called to do family events. I wasn't getting paid for that, but that helped to pave the way, to where I am now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So our topic of discussion today is actually destination I do.
Okay.
Right? The intricate details of planning a wedding here in the Bahamas, mainly destination weddings. Have you had a fair chance of operating or working with destination clients?
Yes, I have. I've had, what should I say, referrals. A lot of my destination weddings in the beginning were basically Bahamians who lived abroad coming back home to get married, but to foreigners.
Okay.
Okay, they didn't live here, so of course that would be considered a destination wedding.
Yeah.
And with me, I forgot to mention to you as well that I am the president of the Bahamas Bride Association.
Awesome.
So there again, that involves a lot of destination weddings, vow renewals, engagement proposals. Those things we kind of like deal with kind of like on a regular basis. But from my personal business, it came from referrals. You know, back then we weren't so big on social media. We were a lot of it was a lot of emails, a lot of what should I say, advertising, like radio advertising, maybe television advertising, that kind of thing. But my name just got out there through referrals. I have a sister who lives in Jersey. She wants to come to the Bahamas, get married. Can you do a wedding? It started from there. It was just based on referrals. Okay, now we have the socials, and people are seeing your social platforms. They're looking at images that you're doing, reading testimonials, and they're reaching out to you based on those through that medium.
What's going on.
Yeah.
So I kind of have like two questions for you, and I tend to have questions that pop into my head. When you do your with your business, is it just only destination weddings, or you do both local and?
I do both. Both local weddings and destination weddings.
So with the destination weddings, does that mean that you work closely with like the hotels and like mainly like the tourism industry?
Well, for the last so when is my business in dealing with my business, and I have to be back and forth with this. Very seldom I work with the hotels because they have their own romance or wedding team on board.
Right.
So it's very rare that they would subcontract a wedding planner outside of their resort. Now that's not to say that those persons are certified or trained. That may be just a 9-to-5 job for them. For someone like me, I'm certified, so I have all of the credentials to allow me to do certain weddings. Okay? Now, you have a lot of cultures, different cultures. There people come here, Jewish, Indian, African weddings. Okay? You have to know what to do. You have to know how to be able to connect with the client on that level. Be able to, and if you don't know, you need to research it so they think you know.
Right.
So, but in terms of destination weddings, things will be trickled down or forwarded from the Ministry of Tourism, to the Bahamas Bride Association. But like, if I were to get one independently through me, that would come from my socials or referrals.
Okay.
If that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does answer.
But
my
I
question.
do local weddings as well. I do quite a number of local weddings.
Okay.
And it's just not weddings, it's other events too.
In
corporate, celebratory events like birthdays, anniversaries, that kind of thing. Christmas parties. Yeah.
Okay, so my next question, another 2-part question. I think my brain's just be going. So let's take a seat in the destination aspect of it, right? With the destination weddings, those persons that reach out to you via social media. So do you think it's difficult working with the overseas clients versus the local clients?
No, not overly difficult. The local clients are a little bit more challenging, because we're all in the same culture. But the destination clients are depending on you to share your expertise with them. They don't live in our country, so they're depending on you to help them to select the best vendors to use for the image that they want to portray for their event.
Right.
Okay. And once they send me the visuals, like I would ask for inspiration pictures. What do you have in mind? What do you envision your day to be like? And once we have a clear understanding of what you want, I'm better able to select the right vendor or group of vendors. I would also direct them to their social pages or their website so that they can see their work. Okay? So that everybody's on the same page. I don't ever want people to show up to their wedding and say, well, I didn't know I was going to get that. or this, unless it's a surprise that you're surprising them with something. But other than that, I haven't had any major challenges.
Okay. So communicating, I know we are in the technological age. So communicating with them is pretty much the same as with communicating with your local clients.
WhatsApp is an excellent tool because you can talk, you can share pictures, you can do live everything.
Right.
Okay? And so they get to feel as if they're part of a site visit or a small meeting with a vendor. Even virtual meetings work with me. Okay?
Okay.
Just so that you can have that one-on-one connection with me, the planner, to ensure that everything is running as it should. I have a wedding for November 8th, and every month, once a month, we have a virtual call where we are just touching base to make sure that things are flowing well on this side as well as their side. Okay, so she's been updating me. Lesley, I got my dress. She also wants to order a bunch of stuff on Amazon. I'm giving her a checklist. She's checking off to make sure that everything that we're supposed to have is going to be in place for when she comes in November. So, technology has played a big role. I know you had asked before, too, what are the two most important things a planner should have for any event or for wedding?
Yes.
And I would say a cell phone and an emergency kit.
Okay. What is in your emergency kit? Because I have a toolbox that I travel with, right?
Okay, so emergency kit will have maybe some safety pins, some glue, a little miniature deodorant, some Band-Aids. What else? It's just it's not overly, my own is not overly big. Some people have a roller thing. I don't. I'm wearing a suit. I'm looking like a boss a day. Okay, so I'm wearing a suit. So I don't need too much going on with me. So I may have something sling over my shoulder or what have you, and then or I may just have a small bag. But I'm not taking no roller thing. Okay, because the maid of honor already has her little compact and stuff. I only need a little couple of stuff just in case something happens.
I got you.
Pins, if your dress split or something. If I used to take little painkillers, but that's not suggested. You're not supposed to give clients drugs.
Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
Maybe some Pepto-Bismol, some Tums, or some chewables.
Yeah.
But other than that, no. And I don't even have candy in case the kid needs something.
Oh, someone should have.
Yeah, because when you look, they get it all over their clothes and they get yucky and all that. No. So my two main things that I would have would be my cell phone, because I got to be in contact with everybody. I need to be able to let the vendor know. Okay, the venue know that the ceremony is over.
We're
on our way.
So we
okay,
to the reception
right?
Now.
Because the cocktail reception starts at a certain time, so they need to be aware of the timeline.
Got you.
Because you have it on paper, but you still need to be able to check in with somebody to say, "Hey, service is over. People are heading down to the venue."
So you as the planner, whether destination or local, you do the timeline for all of your vendors.
I do a timeline for all.
Your makeup artist, your hairstylist,
And
who go in the chair
MC,
first.
And the MC, yeah. Not who's going in the chair first. I would say to the maid of honor, let the ushers or the hostesses go in the chair first.
Because they have to
They
leave
first on the gate.
Yeah.
Right. The last wedding that I did in June, the end of June, we actually had a separate car for those planners. I'm sorry, those persons, yeah, the male and the female. So they all left the resort one time to go to the church, because the church was in a location where parking was a problem. So I needed a car just for them. The client had no objection to that. Just for them, that car dropped them there. When the ceremony was over, that car took them back.
So were they a part of the photos?
They got their photos before and at the reception.
Okay.
So they weren't a part of the garden photos.
Okay, so
they were a part of the photos.
So is it customary for the ushers or the usherettes, those assisting with the flow, to be a part of the official wedding?
They are the main players in the wedding, you know. Bridesmaids and groomsmen only pontificate. They only stand there and look pretty. Ushers are working people,
right.
Working attendants,
right.
Okay, and that's why I suggest to clients don't have no teenagers, don't have no teeny boppers, and no children who don't understand, who can't be direct with guests, because some guests can be aggressive. Okay? So once I have a briefing at rehearsal as to what your role is, everybody should have a clear understanding that when you see showtime start, it's showtime. Okay? We need to get to the church on time, at least an hour, latest an hour before. Because old people just come on time. Old people just come on time.
Before
so
time.
I don't want anybody to come to the church and nobody's there to receive them. Okay?
I got you.
So everybody needs to be in place. Once the wedding ceremony is over, okay, gone are the days where you have the ushers breaking down and what have you. If you have a decor team, the decor team will go break down, and so you don't have to be told nothing. Maybe with the exception of a guest book, but other than that, I need you to head down to the reception, because guests will get there early, and before you know it, they'll be in the reception hall scouting where they're going to be sitting,
putting their bag to the table.
No, we want to keep those doors closed. We want to maintain control and order.
I got you.
You know,
I got you. So they are junior workers.
Junior workers. So when you see the doors are open, and if it's arranged seating, guests are then allowed to go into the reception venue. They're seated. The MC takes it over from there. Then you can have your little woosa moment. And you can sit down. But for me, the planner, I'm still moving around, assessing things.
So that would have been my next question. Is there ever a chill moment or okay, my job is done at the wedding or at the event? Because you don't only do weddings, you do all events. Is there or is it only chills when that last vendor has collected their last item?
No. Well, I chill after the formalities are over.
Okay.
Once the last formal item, let's just say the cutting of the cake and the groom's speech and the dancing is started. Once I've already broken down the cake, dismantled the cake, boxed it, and in some instances of late, I've had the cake artisan come back and box it and take it away.
Okay.
And then they'll bring it back to me already individually sliced. Okay?
Okay.
So you need to add that. Think about adding these things to make your job a little easier. Okay? Because a lot of times, whomever the designated person is after the wedding to take these things home, they are so overwhelmed with so much other things to take that they don't have no space. If you have leftover wine or what have you, I don't suggest you leave it there, because it could go missing. Who knows?
Of course. That's how many people get stuck at home.
Exactly. So I don't get to chill until I've already done. I've secured the flute glasses, the knife and cake server, and all that. And then I can just chill.
Stuff with the
now, when the DJ feels to see he can break down, that's on him. Decor, I will make sure that everybody's aware that the stands are not to be taken. They can take the flowers, not the stands. Yeah.
Okay.
With parties, similar. It depends on the nature of the party.
Okay.
Okay, because I'm not gonna stay there till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning till the person have the last dance. No. And then if the DJ has a specified time for when they're gonna play, if he's supposed to play till 12 o'clock, I given him the eye contact. Okay, so you loading up the last song, right? Okay.
It's the last call.
Yeah. Especially if you're in a hotel.
Yes, because their time is different versus an outside venue.
Now, if you at a house, some of them won't be there all night. Wouldn't be me. Once everything is already secured, the caterer is already broken down, the food, whatever's left, is already secured somewhere else, then fine.
Okay. I got you. I completely understand.
You just gotta stay focused, do what you gotta do. I work in.
That's it.
I ain't coming here Friday nights.
Just because you're a professional.
Okay?
This is a professional setting.
This is what we're dealing with.
Right.
I had one client say, well, you were walking around like you was mad. I said, I wasn't mad. I had a serious face. Because I wake in, I am assessing what you don't see, I see it.
Yeah.
When the bartender run out of ice, I had already sent somebody else to get more ice. So don't try to figure that out.
I got this.
Because I trying to make sure things flow in.
I got this.
When the light going out in the marquee letters, I had to call the vendor, listen, this light out, come now. Now.
I got you. So your work is never done. Because you constantly, every aspect of that event, that on you.
Don't let you have a security or parking attendant and someone trying to crash the party, and you've already told them, okay, if they don't have a certain name ban on it,
They
they
can't
come
come
in.
in.
So I am trying to be here, there, everywhere, and my phone is always on me.
Do you find that issue, or do you have that issue with destination weddings, or
Mhm.
just mainly locals?
I would say mainly locals. The destination weddings, most times, they're on a time limit. Don't let them be on a cruise ship. Any time limit. I had a wedding, 80 people. She told me everything needed to be absolutely 1 hour.
Everything? What do you mean everything?
So from the time the bus brought them there, the bus transported them from the cruise ship to the venue, symbolic wedding, champagne toast, cake cutting, within an hour, back on the bus.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what do you think makes the Bahamas so appealing for destination weddings?
Our climate. The mere fact that you can get married and honeymoon here at the same time.
This is just the spot.
Well, you almost guaranteed sunshine every day.
That's true. That is true.
And I try to do weather call 10 days out. So from 10 days out, I'm checking weather every day.
Mm-hmm. So, if you had the opportunity to plan the ideal destination wedding, no budget, which island?
Exuma.
Why?
I love Tropical Castle Beach.
Really? What about it?
Crystal clear waters, beautiful sand. It's paradise on an island.
So, doing the island weddings, is that more challenging versus doing the destination weddings here locally in Nassau?
Well, for islands, depending on the island, it'll depend on the resources there available.
Correct.
Because if you have limited resources, that means that you have to bring in stuff. Okay, and that's more costly. More costly for the clients.
Okay.
You could bring in the stuff from Nassau, but still you got to factor in the cost for bringing it here and taking it back. One time I did a wedding in Treasure Key, Abaco.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have limousines down here. That was when we used to use limousines.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to have the limousine company
on the boat.
Bring the limousine on the boat. You know the boat don't leave every day like airplanes. So the limousine, let's just say it came in on a Friday and it had to stay over till Monday, Tuesday. So that means we had to pay the
daily
cost for them to be out of their mainstream environment.
So are destination weddings more costly per se?
Depends on the destination. Because for New Providence, we basically have a one-stop shop.
Right.
Okay?
So but for the outer
islands, like I know with Eleuthera they call companies there.
Okay.
Who are basically well equipped to do certain things. You know, and based on the look that the client wants, they're able to produce. Eleuthera for sure I know of.
Okay.
Grand Bahama, yeah. Exuma, a little bit.
Is it okay? So another question: do you see it? Whereas in our family islands that tend to have the resorts like Bimini, Exuma, Grand Bahama, what kind of have more destination weddings than the other islands that may not have?
They probably have somebody on staff who's able to do like a one-stop shop. You can fly over, the person is there on staff.
Mm-hmm.
They can plan the wedding and basically execute based on what they want to a certain degree. And for what they don't have, then they'll have to outsource to the mainland.
Gotcha.
And there again, you have to use, I guess, the most economical form of transportation to get it there. Now, I do know sometimes, you know, based on the style of flowers you want, like fresh flowers, you may have to bring that in from the mainland.
Right.
Because sometimes, and I'm not being judged, I don't want to sound judgmental, right? But sometimes, based on the look, especially with florals, we don't have a whole lot who have that, what should I say, that artistic flexibility. Some people are just basic.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Whereas some
They can't
other
think
florals,
outside the box.
they can't think outside
Right.
the box. So
It's pretty much
whimsical.
just this.
It's just this, right? You have these brides now who want different.
Right, because the industry is changing.
Yeah, the industry's changing all the time.
So for you as the planner, do you make those suggestions to persons?
What you mean to clients?
Right, like
What?
to instead of being traditional.
I do. I do encourage them to step out of the box. That's why I ask them for their inspiration pictures, so I can see where their head is at. And then I may share, well, why not add a twist to this? Like boho chic weddings, those using a lot of pampas grass and all that kind of stuff. They could be a little messy, but then again, they're pretty.
It is. It is. So with your consultation period, your consultation process where you really get the nitty gritty of the client.
Yeah.
Is that the point where you take their inspirational photos for their event and you give your insights to make it more personalized for them?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes based on a discussion with the vendor, who I'm thinking would be best suited for the job. Because like I said, I normally give them three options, vendor options. I have them check out their web pages or their socials so that they can see the work that they do. And depending on that, you may say, okay, well, why not use this or like a clear top tent, or instead of using just regular folding chairs, let's use bamboo, or let's just use the crossback wooden chairs, stuff like that. So I'll add, things like that, but I don't want them to think that I'm trying to change their vision.
They want.
Their vision, you know?
So, another question. Of course, this is the Bahamas. Now, I know a lot of our Bahamian people have pet peeves in regards to, oh, you're a tourist, you come to the Bahamas for the Bahamas, but you're not experiencing the Bahamas. When you are planning your destination weddings, do you infuse Bahamian culture? I
do. And just recently, like about 2 months ago, John Watlins shared their new tours, the mixology class, the Rum Academy, all of that. So that is somewhat of a cultural experience that they can basically experience with their guests or with the bridal party or family. If they're coming out for the weekend or a week, they may want some things to do.
Right.
You have Grey Cliff, you have the chocolate factory, wine making, rum, all that kind of stuff. So I would generally suggest stuff like that if they want, even people to people, because I'm an ambassador. So that itself affords them the opportunity to get a taste of what happens on a cultural level behind the hotel or the resort scene.
Right.
Yeah.
I got you. That and that makes sense because I am guessing that is the whole point of the destination wedding here. But how do you keep a destination wedding luxurious?
Well, perhaps the quality. First of all, the venue.
Right.
Okay. The venue, the vendors that you use, the services that you're providing. Even from the minute that they exit from the departure area, the customs area, that's when that luxury style should begin.
So from they get off that plane.
Yes, right. You should have concierge services at the airport to receive them. They have their transportation waiting. They escort them to the hotel, transport them to the hotel. And as simple as a welcome ensemble or welcome bag. And then the nature of what the contents are, all of that is included in this
Strictly
overall
Bahamian.
strictly Bahamian, an authentic experience, but on a different level. No cheapy stuff.
Got you.
And it doesn't have to be overly high end either, but it's how you produce
It's
the
just
product.
authentic
And having a timeline of what is expected to happen during wedding weekend or wedding week.
Right.
Could be swimming with the pigs, could be feeding the sharks, could be with the iguanas, okay? Could be having a sunset dinner cruise. All of this, you want to immerse them into our culture during their wedding week.
I know a lot of persons go to with one go-to aspect with emerging our culture is always the junk and the rush out. Do you find it, and jumping out there, please don't stone me for this, do you find it that it's getting played out with destination weddings, or persons are expecting that junk and rush out because it's that?
Some don't even know. It'll be it's a good idea to include it at maybe a rehearsal dinner, or mix and mingle welcome party. Okay, because for those type weddings, generally they come with a whole entourage of people.
Right.
So you can infuse that at a welcome party or during a portion of the wedding reception itself. I did a wedding where we had the flamingos at Bahamas come out.
Wow.
Interacting with the guests during the cocktail reception. Okay? That was something different.
And that's our
That's
national bird.
That's
So
our
that's
national bird. That's a photo.
payment.
Exactly. Okay, so
That's
guests were
amazing.
able to pose for the flamingos, walking around, mixing and mingling during cocktail hour.
That's
so all
amazing.
that is an immersive experience for
But it was
our
still a
guests.
luxurious
It
experience.
is luxurious because those flamingos are charged per person, per bird plus VAT. Per bird.
That's one
plus
bird.
VAT.
Y'all take picture with it.
No, we had 4.
Ah! I scream in French. Wow. What was your most over the top wedding, destination wedding?
When you say over the top in terms of dollar figure or in terms of drama, or
There's a difference.
there is a difference. Because I had a wedding that was supposed to happen the year of COVID in April. Remember now, we were advised March 15th about
Yeah, we got
COVID,
shut down pretty much.
and the
that
wedding
time.
was a month later. The wedding was scheduled to be a month later, April 16th. Okay? And of course, we were in full COVID mode.
Yeah.
I planned that wedding 5 times. It never, and that wedding was, I guess, a destination wedding for the bride because she lived abroad and he lived here. So for the most part, a lot of the guests were coming into the Bahamas for this wedding, and because of COVID, the dates kept changing. The availability, this and next thing. So I planned the wedding 5 times. It never materialized until the following January. Scaled down quite a bit to like a dinner reception, probably for about 30. When it should have been over 100.
Wow.
But it worked out. It went well. The minister was late for that wedding too. And 2 years later, they had another wedding, but it was in their country where they were going to move to. And so that allowed for the persons who would have made the trip to come to attend that wedding, and they flew me there. They flew me there to do it. So that was a good thing.
And it was a good experience.
And it was a good experience for me as well because I met vendors over there.
Because that would have been my next question. So now you are out of your element.
Yes.
Because now you have your local vendors. Now you're in someplace foreign.
And I've already networked with them.
Wow. So that broadened your horizons as
Yeah,
well.
it did.
Wow.
I'm always looking for ways to network with other people, other vendors.
Right. That's amazing.
Because all you need is for your one name to go here and there. And people, oh, well, I know Lesley. She's in the Bahamas. Give her a call. Tell her I told you to call her.
And that's it. That's all it takes.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. Me personally, I guess I'm scary. I don't know why. I don't know. I've had a client reach out to me via social media. They were coming on a cruise and he wanted to have a room set up for his fiance.
Engagement?
Engagement set up. And I do not know what it was, but I was not able to successfully book that client because I'm guessing the pricing was within their budget. And I always, one thing I do not have the notion to have regrets, or I should have not charged them
if
like
that was
that.
supposed because
it was supposed to be for me, I would have gotten it.
Yeah.
But I have never thought of even venturing into doing destination weddings, because I am the type of person I am an in-person
Mm-hmm.
person, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're doing a virtual meeting with a client, aren't you seeing them face to face?
Yeah, but I am
So
more.
what, you don't trust those.
I like to get a feeling, like the
It's not going to always
authentic
be the
feeling.
ideal situation,
Right.
you know.
I like to get the feeling
And it's
from that
relatively
client.
easy.
It is.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to stick with my niche.
And it depends on the culture too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know when I was doing my certification, we were taught pretty much about the different cultures and how important it is to know the culture in regards to you
what is accepted
and what is not.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Indian weddings or
I love
Asian
them. They're my
style
favorite.
weddings.
Indian weddings are my favorite.
The reason why I like Indian weddings too is because there's so much that you can do because it's always colorful, it's always vibrant.
Not only that, it's a whole week or two long celebration depending on the family per se.
Okay.
It could be as long as 2 weeks or more. Yeah, the celebrations. I did a wedding 2 years ago. Bahamian girl married a guy from Ghana, and a whole delegation came down from Ghana. So the minute they reached out to me, I started doing my research on Ghanaian weddings,
Right.
just so I could be more familiarized with what their expectations are. And where we they call it the white ceremony, but
Yes.
their main ceremony is their traditional ceremony, and the Ghanaians feel as if that's theirs. But of course, the white is the Christian, and I was able to experience both. The whole culture, the whole ceremonial thing, the cuisine, all that. Because listen, they came out in droves.
Wow.
And all of these people flew in. They were of African descent. They weren't all from Ghana. The family who had migrated to the U.S. All those persons came in, had their cuisine and everything, their beverages. That was an experience, but it was a good learning one.
Right.
But yeah. I was gonna say it's an interesting profession because there's no one wedding that you can't learn from.
Right.
You're always learning. And I always say to people, there's always something good and bad to learn from any situation. And when you do one wedding or one event, you learn, or that creates an awakening for something else further down the road, So
I got you. So we can take a quick break. But I can preempt you for the next segment. It's pretty much I want you to tell me, or pretty much like some insider tips for new and upcoming planners.
Okay.
I want you to just give your insight for someone that's interested in getting into the planning aspect, whether it's planning and decor or planning or either or, your area of expertise. And I know you mentioned earlier about the association. I want you to speak a little bit about the association and what it means to be a part of the association. Okay?
Are you searching for the perfect touch of elegance and creativity for your next event? Look no further than Illustrative Artistry Event Parlor, your destination for unforgettable moments. At Illustrative Artistry, we pride ourselves on our detailed event consultations, where our expert planners work tirelessly to bring your vision to life. From intimate gatherings to grand celebrations, we've got you covered every step of the way. Our team specializes in event planning and execution, ensuring that every aspect of your event is flawless. With premium linens and decor expertise, we'll transform your venue into a breathtaking masterpiece that will leave your guests in awe. And that's not all. Make your event truly memorable with our exclusive partnership with Stationery Hut, the ultimate destination for customized gift items. Whether you're looking for personalized mementos or wholesale crafting blanks, Stationery Hut offers the widest selection at the most affordable prices in town. Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? Visit us today and let us turn your dreams into reality. Illustrative Artistry Event Parlor, where every moment is a masterpiece. Located at Shop 6 Soldier Road Shopping Center, Soldier Road West. Call us on 603-0517.
Welcome back, guys. Our behind the scenes conversation be litty. So I'm going to give you a few clips before and after. But Lesley, I know that there's so much that we can talk about. And I can't tell you how grateful I am that you actually agreed to come and sit on the couch and have this conversation because you are the epitome of professionalism when it comes to planning luxury events. Your name is there. When you hear the name Lesley, everybody knows that will be done to the T.
I didn't know that.
Indeed. Because even with speaking with Miss Sutherland, or speaking with Beth, or speaking with other persons within the events industry, oh, did call Lesley. Lesley knows this. Oh, Lesley would have access to that. So you're there. What I want from you at this point, this segment within this show, I want you to speak to those that are upcoming, those or those that are planning or want to join the events industry as an event planner. And I want you to touch on joining like an association and the importance of doing that. So I just want you to give some insight to those that are up and coming. Some sort of motivation, some sort of what to do, insider tips.
Well, first of all, you need to be a people person. If you're not a people person, and people tend to annoy you, this is not the job for you. You have to have patience, that level of patience. You have to be able to look at somebody with a somewhat semi-smile or straight face, and even though you're telling them about their tail, on the inside, your facial expression or your body language is not showing that. So you have to
ratchet.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to keep it professional.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to be mindful of your tone, but most importantly, people person.
Yes.
I would say to upcoming new persons who want to be in this business as a planner, get certified. Don't be a dabbler, because it means that you can demand money, demand what your value is. If you're just, those persons who just want to wake up and say, oh, I feel like planning, I can do this, they give us a bad name. Because whatever happens out there, people are going to say, oh, well, she was their planner. They're going to think all planners are like that. So get yourself certified, align yourself with other professional vendors who are going to help to build your brand.
Right.
Okay? You're going to build theirs, they're going to build yours.
Correct.
Okay? You want to make sure that you have a good network of vendors, people who you can call on a whim's notice to get your job done. All right? People who are not going to embarrass you when they speak. They know what they're talking about. All right? Doing their research. You don't want people to just say, because even like, let's just say a DJ, you want people to run that DJ, even though you may have the client's playlist, you may want to be able to read the crowd. So as a planner, you need to be able to read your client through consultations and all of that, right? So after becoming certified, you've already networked with a core of vendors that you like to deal with. You want to continue to do things to stay relevant, like what you're doing, and promote your brand so that people know about you. I always wanted to be a household name. So whenever something's happening in a family, let's just say one daughter's getting married, but the minute they set the date, call Lesley. Let's call a meeting.
That's it.
Even when it is an engagement. Okay, call Lesley. You want to get engaged? Okay. That's what I wanted to be, a household name. And the same thing when it comes to any other celebratory events, even with funerals. I've done post repasses. I've done repass. After they would have gone to the undertaker and made all the arrangements with the church, they called me to do the repass. So you want to build a relationship with not only your clients, your vendors, because not every year is going to be a bed of roses. Out of 12 months out of the year, you may have about, just say 7 or 8 good months when everything is flowing. And then you have moments that are dry spells. And you got to be able to ride the wave.
Right.
Okay? There are a lot of things out there that are trending. You have to decipher which works best for you in terms of policies and processes. And if you don't know, ask questions.
Correct.
Okay? I am one of those persons. I don't believe in keeping my hands closed. Knowledge is power. If you ask me a question and I can answer it, I'm going to do my best to do that.
Okay.
If I can't answer it, I'm going to try to direct you to someone who can, or I'll find out for myself and get back to you. Always have an open door policy. Now, mind you, you're going to come across some people who kind of snakes in the grass, But guess what? You pray for the spirit of discernment, and guess what? God is going to lead them right out of your path. Karma is real. I always have that on my left, on my left breast. Karma is real. So don't do to somebody what you don't want done to you. So that would be my advice to new persons coming to the business as it relates to the association. The Bahamas Bridal Association is the only association sanctioned by the Ministry of Tourism for all of their romance the affairs. Anybody who would reach out to the ministry for anything with relates to vow renewals or even vendor services. They need a photographer. They want to do a photo shoot. They want to get married, destination weddings. They would call on the BBA and or any of our members, request any of our members to connect.
Okay.
What is most important though is responsiveness. If you want to be in this business, you can't wait a week to get back to a client. Once they would have reached out to you with a request, check your socials, your emails, your phone messages, or whatever, periodically. Okay? We know that some of you have 9-to-5 jobs, but on your lunchtime, check your phone. Even if you just acknowledge, I'm not available right now, but I'm going to get back to you before the end of the business day.
That goes a long way.
But our problem with some of our vendors, some of them, is their responsiveness. If 24 hours, 48 hours has gone by, and you have not returned a message or call from somebody, that client has no right other than to just move on. Move on.
Yes.
Because you've already disrespected me by not even acknowledging that I reached out to you. So responsiveness, professionalism, being attentive to their needs, and execution, getting the job done. Clients don't want to hear problems; they want solutions. I'm not being paid to have too much to talk.
You want me to do?
You just want me to do execute. You tell me what you want me to do, I'll execute within the laws of the Bahamas. And that's how it works. That's the long and short of it. And once you do that, you'll see that things will tend to run smoothly. You're not going to, meet the ideal vendor all the time. Sometimes y'all get off on a rocky start. But once you all understand each other, you just do good flowers. Why you just act up? Okay? I'm a good planner. We both know what we're doing. Our heads buck, but guess what? At the end of the day, it makes me and you look good.
That's it.
There's no I in team. Anybody who, my vendors, I will tell them, I don't micromanage. I don't have time for that.
Because
I
you're
got things
supposed to
to
know
do,
what you're doing.
right? But I have things to do. Don't think I can be on you. I do things in ample time where we can check this out, we can discuss this, and we can set this and forget this. We can pull this back together, or pick this back up a week before. Hey, you still on this day? You straight? You got all the things just lying in the road? It's time to rock and roll.
That's professional.
That's what's time to go. You don't have time to be micromanaging people. This is a business. And we're working as a team.
That's it.
And at the end of the day, I tell them, I say, I don't care what you do, just make it fabulous. Make it fabulous. It's your name, your brand. Make it fabulous. Don't bring any old foolishness here. And don't have no one on your team who will embarrass you either.
Don't bring no stragglers.
Come professionally dressed.
Don't bring no stragglers.
When I do an event, I'm dressed.
Because that's your event.
That's my event. I'm going to stand out. They can see me walking around and say, okay, that's her. That's the planner.
They can know you.
Yeah. I ain't going to be dragging no slippers, and I ain't going to be looking halfway. When you move, you got to move professionally, with style, with class. And that's the long and short.
That's it.
That's
it.
it.
And that's all.
But the Bahamas Bridal Association is made up of wedding planners, officiants, cake floral artisans, decor, concierge services, you name it. Persons, DJs, musicians, okay? We are an association. You can come to us for a one-stop shop.
Amen. Good.
And it's not only just getting leads from maybe the Ministry of Tourism or maybe other organizations. You have a networking team within.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I need a florist, before I step outside of the membership base, I go right there in my membership directory and say, you available? I need this. Or I need linens. Can you facilitate this?
Indeed.
Same thing with engagement proposals. I need to, is this setup done? XYZ. People are counting on you to provide a service.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, you want positive results.
Yes.
Because if you do one job good, that secures 10 other jobs one time. And if people were to have that mindset, they'll have a better appreciation for what the job is.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So being professional is what you need to do. Not only call yourself professional,
Yeah.
you need to represent your
You have
brand.
to represent it.
When you step like you know what you're doing. And if you don't know, you said, you know what? I'll get right
I'll
back
leave
to
right
you.
back to you. Let me find. Yeah.
I didn't say you find out. I said get right back to you.
I don't.
Let me check something.
Yeah.
I think I heard. They don't have to know you heard it now.
But by the time you come
By
out,
the time you
you know
come out,
everything they need to know.
Just be responsive. People like the sound of their name, and people like to know that you're catering to them. You mind you ain't kissing up, you know. But you just letting them know that, hey, you've hired me as a planner. I'm here to provide a service.
That's it.
Now, some may say, well, they have to set up boundaries. And perhaps I'm guilty of this because I'm a late bird. So sometimes I'm up late at night. Depending on who the client is, if you WhatsApp me, because sometimes you think of some things through the night or first thing in the morning, right? And I'll see it and I say, do I want to answer this? But then I'll still answer it, you know. Because I would tell them in the consult, I say, no, there are times that you may message me on WhatsApp. I may or may not answer it if it's after hours.
Mm-hmm.
But just so you know.
Right. Because you want to set a boundary.
Yeah, set a boundary. Okay? But, you know, depending, and I'm kind of flexible with people. Because, you know, I want them to know that, you know, I'm available. Because sometimes they go through emotional stuff too, planning weddings too, you know.
Yes.
And sometimes it's a fiance or the mother-in-law and what have you, who is, you know, say some things, and you have to be a mediator at times as well.
And you have to be a listening ear.
Even with your bridal party. So that's what it is. And that's why I'm probably still in this business now from 2004 to now, so I must love it. I love what I do.
You do.
Yeah.
You do, and it shows.
I
it
meet
shows
a
in the
lot of
work that you
people,
do.
and I don't know, who knows where this may take me.
Where that's taken you.
Yeah.
You've seen
Take
the
me
growth
further.
in your business.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen a change. If you were to look back at your business from 2004 to now, what would you say?
I'm saying wow every day. The only thing I would want to improve right now is the technology part. These apps and technology and stuff are changing every single day, upgrading and trying to decipher which one works best for you and for the services that you want to provide. But then again, some people like for you to pick up the phone and call them and not just send them a bunch of figures and spreadsheets too.
Yes.
They like to have those virtual meetings so that you can discuss and be back and forth with
Right.
conversations
Right.
about, well, what about this, Les? Or, you know, what do you think, you know, should I try this? I was thinking about this, and I'd be like, you know, keep in mind this, and, you know, I don't tell them what to do, but sometimes I have to, you know, bring certain things to their attention so they say, well, you know what, I didn't think about that, you know, but.
And that came with trial and error within the business.
Yeah.
Knowing what to do.
Knowing
how to
what not to do.
conversate. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lesley, it has been such a knowledgeable conversation with you today because it opened my eyes. I'm not a part of any association. I'm not a part of the association. I am certified, but the clarion call to join the association, I heard that.
Yeah, it's a network. It's a networking association,
And that,
because you're not gonna get leads every month or every week, but guess from foreigners.
Mhm.
But you may get your local
Locals.
leads.
Mm-hmm.
And trust me, people will call you.
Yes.
They will call you once you tell them this is the business that you're in. People will call you, especially if they see the work that you do.
Right.
They will call you.
And you know, with you saying that, like I said, it has inclined me to be a part of the association as well. And I'm grateful that you stressed the importance of it as well. So I do want to 100 times over say thank you.
You're welcome.
You know, for taking the time out from your extremely busy schedule. I'm glad I caught you before the weekend.
Yeah, well, you got me because it's a quiet week.
Oh.
It's back to school and vacation time.
Yes,
so
yes.
I don't know if you had seen an article the Guardian interviewed me on maybe about 2 weeks ago, where July and August is normally a soft season for weddings. Even in the hotel industry, you know, people are focusing on vacation and back to school.
Right.
So it's kind of like a little quiet now, you know. People are getting married, you find some, maybe the teachers and stuff. Or people who have on summer break.
Right.
But the season generally picks back up like maybe mid-September or so. And then you have weddings, and you know, it's cooler months. And then too, right now it's hurricane season too.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. You've shared so much insight. And like I said, it was a very knowledgeable conversation. And I'm appreciative of your knowledge and actually sharing it. Because a lot of people is gatekeep. You didn't gatekeep anything. No. So with that,
it won't benefit me any to just keep it on.
Which is true.
Everybody has their own style. You know?
Right. Yeah. Everyone's brand is different.
Yeah, everybody has their own style.
Everyone's brand is
different. How does
it
have to go around?
I believe so. I mean, that's my mindset. Because if I am unable to facilitate a job, and I know I have your number, and I know you can facilitate, Lesley, can you do this? Can you execute this for this client for me, please?
Yeah.
I'm looking for that. I just want that client to be happy. And
that's another thing we didn't talk about, kickbacks. A lot of these wedding, I've heard that some wedding planners like to get kickbacks. If you charge a price, stick with your price. If the vendor, I'm talking about kickbacks from the vendor, if the vendor wants to give you a commission or something, it should not be mandatory.
I've experienced that before. I do not necessarily think that I handled it properly because, like I said before, I mentioned I am a bit soft-hearted, and I tend to be, I wouldn't say people pleaser, but I do not like strife. I don't like
confrontation.
I do not like confusion.
I don't like it either, but still, it's unprofessional and unethical.
I've had someone that recommended me to do an event, the full event, and their comment to me was, "Oh, just make sure I charge them so I can get X, Y, and Z."
See that you don't want that because it can backfire on you.
Right, because now my price is my price, and I'm pricing what I'm thinking is correct, because Beth also assisted me in regards to knowing how to price correctly. That for the first 2 to 3 years that I was actually in the business, I would sit down with Beth and I say, "Beth, can you price this for me so that I can know that I'm not pricing myself out and I'm not overpricing where I do not get the job." But I'm not the type of person to say, "Okay, let's say I'm giving you this client, make sure, or this client get back."
You have people out there who do that, and that's wrong. Because you're charging your price.
And my price is
now,
my price.
It's up to you. If you want to give somebody a little love off and, "Hey, thanks for thinking of me," what have you, fine. But it should not be mandatory. So that's another thing that new or novice planners need to have in the back of their mind. When you're dealing with vendors, be aware of. When you have vendors who are telling you, you have planners who are telling vendors, "Oh, you have to give me something or add on 20%. No, because that can backfire.
Right.
That's double dipping. So that's another thing. We could be on and on talking about weddings all day.
I can tell you.
There's so much to talk about.
And I think the industry has been, I wouldn't say muddied, but I think a lot of persons got into the industry with the wrong
reasons.
And it
they just woke up and say, "You know what? This making some money. Let me go do this."
And one day I'm not okay. So case in point, balloon artists, right? I follow a lot of balloon artists as well. I don't do balloons personally, but I have 3 exceptional balloon artists that I work along with. And from inception to now, I've seen the growth. And when I say growth, I mean in with learning the correct quality of balloons to use for events.
Right.
I've had to have hard conversations with clients that wanted to purchase their balloons off of Amazon.
And not knowing the difference of quality balloons and thinking by doing that it'll be
saving,
cheaper.
and
but it's
not.
The labor
is a lot. And
and the skill.
Because and that is the reason why I am at the stance that I am at within my business, right? Lesley, I don't normally do children's parties. Let me tell you why I don't normally do children's parties, because the parents become comical, right? And why should I spend $500 on a balloon garland for a 5-year-old? Why do you want a balloon garland for a 5-year-old?
Why did they send you the inspiration pictures?
This listen to me. I'm talking about the amount of balloons. They have the big 19-inch balloons. They have the small clusters. Those are organic balloons. And then what they do not know, for some of those colors to be achieved, they have to be stuffed.
That's right.
And it's those type of conversations that they don't want to understand. I'll just order
Even
balloons
metallic
from
balloons
Amazon.
are different.
The foil balloons are different.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And I've always tried my best to be as candid but as respectful as possible to let clients know what you're seeing.
Why need to be so much?
What you are seeing, you do not know the work that goes behind it. So sometimes I try my best to subtly let them know, hey, guess what? What your budget is not suffice for what it is that you're asking for. I'm going to give you a rough breakdown, but I'm also going to tell you what you can get for your budget. So
most times it's not realistic.
And
most times it's not realistic. I can tell you. That's why I tell people, let me give you 3 options. That's where you can see the price comparison.
Right.
Now, if they come back to me, because I have an idea how much it's going to cost. If it comes back to me and one of them is really, really low, I'm going to get a 4th one. Because obviously that low one is underpricing themselves. And me as a planner, know that ain't right.
That's
because
why I don't do
they
packages.
may end up giving me foolishness on the day off. And that's going to be a problem for me. That's going to be a problem.
And then your name tarnish. Because then they say, this is the kind of people Lesley
right.
work with. Because that's what no. And I'm not the type of person who's going to be like, I don't work with these people. But I am the kind of person that's going to say, I'm not sure of the level of work that person can produce. But I know these list of vendors here. I know their caliber of work. I know the materials they use. I know the equipment they use. So your backdrop is not going to fall down because it's not a photographer's backdrop. Your balloons are not going to burst because they're not Amazon balloons. You understand what I'm saying? Your table legs are not going to be. I don't use spandex tablecloths for. Listen, I've had a corporate client having an anniversary. No, it wasn't an anniversary. It was a retirement.
Well, that's not appropriate.
They wanted spandex tablecloths. I said, that's
sometimes those little social committee teams, they don't know what they're doing. They only see spandex. The only time I suggest spandex is if it's a beach something or if it's food buffets.
I only use spandex for food and bar. I think it looks tacky. I think it cheapens the event. I don't even use polyester.
No.
9 times.
I
use polyester for children's parties.
Depending on the event.
function.
Yeah.
I am the type of person, I might be frugal, but I love good quality things. And if I would not put it on the table for my own event, I'm not going to do it for your event. When I say I literally take your event as if it's mine, I mean that. And you spoke about, we give them extras. Yes, the hell we do.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want this event to go off without a
Mhm.
hitch. When I do this wedding,
Mhm.
you did not have a guest book,
Mhm.
but I gave you a guest book.
Mhm.
And it wasn't a regular guest book, it was an alternative guest book. It's something that's not going to be tarnished by water. If somebody missing tear it up, it's going to be something that you could hang up on the wall. Your seating chart is going to be something that that is something you would always remember. Your welcome sign is going to be a photo that is curated for you and your husband, that could go up on top of your mantle in your room. That is the kind of work that I try and set my standard for. So when I have persons that come to me, and I am grateful for the conversations that end when I send a quote, I have no problem with someone telling me that it's out of their budget. I am not going to, and I don't, at this point in time, I do not care if I sound uppity, but I am not going to bend.
I agree. Same way I feel with photographers. Photographers are the most important people. One of the top 5.
I
Okay?
tell you,
Because if you're not a photographer who taking magazine quality pictures,
I want
I
you.
don't want you.
Because you could imagine you spend close to $5,000 on your photography for your wedding,
Mm-hmm.
and the lighting isn't done correctly.
Or they didn't adjust something. They take clicking.
Raw.
Like something they adjusted. Let's just say
Raw.
the groom's
Lapel.
boutonniere
Twister.
upside down. Mm.
Like
I'm very particular. I hate to say it, but I'm very particular.
but that is the reason why your business is still running
I
around. Because it's your level of concern and your eye for detail that actually keeping
some
you.
people just clicking the name. And I also tell photographers too, you know, when we talked about the difference between a caterer and a cook, the food is also a part of the event. I want food pictures. Because the images should tell a story.
I want everything.
I want everything.
I want
From
everything.
the entrance, the food, the beverage, even if they have a signature drink, take a picture of the drink.
And
Okay?
as a
Because
planner,
it tells a story.
the few events that I have planned, I can plan, but I prefer executing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the few events that I plan, when I am in communication with the videographer or the photographer, I always say, please get the details, because the client
Mm-hmm.
needs to know that what they paid for,
Mm-hmm.
they
It's
got.
good.
Because
It
if
should tell a story.
push comes to shove, and this might be turning it in a different angle, and when push comes to shove, if at the end of the day you're getting married, I planned your wedding for you, but it's a hustle and bustle, so certain elements you did not see. So now we are going to do a regrouping
Mm-hmm.
after your event, and then you are going to say, well, Bianca, I don't remember seeing my dessert buffet. I don't remember
You see, they should the pictures have it.
So
You
okay,
be behind the scenes.
so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to contact your photographer. Hey, I know you probably have not completed editing these pictures, but are you able to send me the raw footage?
Yeah.
Because I need to confirm X, Y, and Z. I know that it was there because as a planner, I saw it there, but I need to reassure my client that it was there. And those pictures are so vital. So
I tell them it's a whole lot y'all don't see.
So when you trying to downplay me, if I charge you $3,000 to plan your event, that $3,000 is well used. It's well worth it. Why are you going to say, oh, I only can afford $500? What am I coming up my house for, $500? Pardon me? When you messaging me after 12 o'clock in the night, and that's taking time away from my family? When I gotta be back and forth behind these vendors to ensure that this is the right cutlery, this is the right tablecloth that they're using, that's the right size for the table, because you don't give me no 120-inch tablecloth for a 72-inch round table, because that's not going to work. You have a 16-foot backdrop, you can't give me no 10 feet draping. Like, come on, you gotta make it make sense.
Small details. I always tell even Jacob and this, I don't want no cloth that I gotta see the legs. I don't want to see the legs.
Lesley, I did a wedding for the very first time at the baseball stadium. The time that myself and the bride and the groom was communicating with one another, I asked them, I said, how many persons are you seating to a table? Oh, it's going to be 10 persons. am I providing the tables and chairs for you? No, I have someone that's providing tables and chairs.
Yes, right.
What size tables?
Yeah.
Oh, he said that they can sit 10.
That's probably 60 inches.
When those tables arrive to the baseball stadium,
60 inches.
60-inch tables.
I know the chairs were in good condition.
The chairs were
But
perfect.
some of them be rickety.
The chairs were perfect. The chairs were perfect. I said, sir, I humbly
60
apologize, but
inches.
I am unable to use these. Why can't you use? I said, number one, because only comfortably 6 to 8 persons could sit to these
Yeah, because if a
tables.
person a little chunky, how that gonna work?
That's number one. I said, second of all, if I only can sit 8 persons to these tables, this is a wedding of 200 guests, which means that I am going to need an abundance of an additional 10 tables to sit these persons, which means that's 10 more centerpieces, 10 more tablecloths, and can it fit in the venue?
Right.
This is the reason why I was in communication to ensure, and you ensured me up until 2 days ago that these are the tables that can fit 10.
Some of those vendors, I find some of those vendors
Don't even know what they
think.
have.
No, but they don't think. Just like you said, yes, it can fit 8 normal size people.
Wait, this is the Bahamian culture.
Okay, and you don't want to be.
I don't want to be squinch up. I'm not. Listen to me.
The stadium can only hold so much.
This is it. This is it. And then you are not taking into consideration the dance floor that have to be put down, so that's taking away square footage.
And if they have a band,
They had a band. They had a DJ.
they need a cake table.
So I don't care what you do, but you have 1 hour to bring me the 12 72-inch round tables that I need. 1
Because
hour.
you would have given them a list of what you needed. So how did it change?
Because you
And if you know you had a problem, then you should have reached out to me.
prior to.
And not today.
And I already had my person on speed dial. And see, I'm not the type of vendor to shun the client from using who they want to use. But I am that vendor that wants to reassure that your vendor that you are going to use have the equipment for what it is that I am doing.
Yeah.
And when you bring these tables, don't bring me no table with the wood snagging, because my tablecloth can't go on them.
Yeah.
Don't bring me no chairs, but I have to do chair covers, and the caps
Yeah.
for the bottom of the chairs are not on the chairs.
Listen, some of these people don't take proper care of their equipment. Period.
They just get in it because they can see the quick money with it. And that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
But, Lesley, that is one of the reasons behind my podcast as well.
That's good.
Because I don't only want to let vendors know, I need to let the clients know. This is when you're looking for a vendor, certain information you need, certain questions you need to ask, certain information you need to have.
And then it's okay to plan your own wedding, but you need someone to manage. You need an event manager. And it can't be Yadi or your cousin.
Because they be sitting to the wedding.
The minute they hear that music, they're waking up on.
Shoes liquor off.
They forgot their assignment.
That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
But Lesley, just like you said, we could continue conversation
We could talk all
night.
Yeah.
But it has been a pleasure. I don't think you know how overjoyed I feel right now, because I'm like, okay, we got a real one on the show. So I feel really good about that, because now at least they know that the information that I'm bringing to them is the correct information. Like the scene here say. And you being a part of this podcast today means a whole lot to me. So I just want to, a million times over, thank you for coming on the show.
I appreciate it.
And I hope this will not be our last encounter.
I think come back.
You can come back? Good. I'm thinking I'm not going to put it out there yet, but I might do a little live on.
Okay. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be different.
Because we don't really have anything centered around events.
Yeah.
And that is what I would love to introduce. So until next time, guys, gonna see you later. Bye.
Later.